Today's video, we're going to take a look at something which blends two things I really like and a lot of other folks like. I like watches and I like guns. In today's video, we're going to take a look at a watch that is inspired by the classic M4/AR-15 style rifle. This is the Gunhild M4 from the folks at Heimdall's Workshop. We're going to take a closer look at this watch coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. As I said today, we're going to take a look at this Gunhild M4 watch from the folks at Heimdall's Workshop. I'm somebody that wears a watch every day. I know more and more people these days are just using their phone. I like to have a watch on my wrist so I can look at it. It's always good to have a solid, well-built, cool-looking watch. So that's what today's watch is. The folks at Heimdall's Workshop were kind enough to send me this so I could show it to you and to sponsor today's video. And in good old Georgia English, what that means is they're paying me to show you this. They've also created a coupon code for you to save 15% on your purchase at Heimdall's Workshop by using the coupon code SOP15. So I'll put a link in the video description to that. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at this watch. Okay, first, I want to point out the M4 watch from Gunhild comes in this really cool, airtight, watertight, tactical style case, kind of like a little mini penguin case. And then the watch will be in here. User manual has a serial number card on here. This is number 294 of 300. It's got my name on it and maker signature, date of purchase, all that. And then also has a little screwdriver here. I guess that's just for adjusting the band if you need to change bands or whatever. Now, let me get it out of here and then we'll talk about the watch itself. Because the case is cool, but that's not really why you're buying it. Okay, so here is the M4 watch. This thing is designed, assembled, and tested in the USA in North Carolina and is limited to only 300 pieces worldwide. The M4 watch case is all stainless steel with a black PVD coating and a subtle brushed finish on all the sides here and here, very subtle, and at the very top of the bezel here. It's really hard to see on camera, I'm sure. The case is 45 millimeters square, not including the shielded non-screw down crown, and 16 millimeters thick. This thing is an absolute tank. Comes in at 7.3 ounces with this FKM band like the one on mine. The back of the case features a window into the jewels and gears of the movement. And the serial number from 1 to 300, mine is 294. I don't know if you can see that or not on camera. Again, it's one of 300 limited run of this watch. The crystal is what they're calling double dome sapphire. I don't know what the double dome means. I do know that I've been wearing this for a few weeks now, almost every day, at least multiple days a week. I banged it a couple times and hit it on stuff and thought, man, I hope I didn't crack that before or scratch it or something. And it looks, as you can see, completely pristine. It's really solid. Here's the part that's going to be hard to show you, but hopefully you can see it. The skeleton dial features 4 stainless steel layers with various finishes and designs to make up a reticle design. So again, there's where the M4 chine comes in. It's got a crossed like a scope reticle. It even has the elevation and stadia markings. There are several references to Picatinny rails on the side here and on the hands, little references there. And they say that the little red second hand on the subdial was intended to represent a mini ACOG. I don't see it, but maybe let me know if you do. It just looks like a little red hand to me, but it's cool. As I said, this watch is an automatic, and the movement is a 21 jewel Japanese Miyota 8N40 skeleton movement with a 42-hour power reserve. It's also hand windable, just wind the crown here, and it features a smaller subdial for seconds. The hour and minute hands, hour markers, and all the numbers features C1 lume. C1 is popular with some tactical style watches because it is bright white during the daylight and somewhat subdued greenish at night, but it's not so bright to potentially give away your position. This watch is rated water resistant to 100 meters. There are 3 different straps available. This is the FKM black kind of rubber style strap. There's also a winter camo, which looks sort of like a leather strap, and a steel link band. I like the FKM because it seems like it's best for hard use and it's going to last the longest. And finally, the price on the M4 is $795 with free shipping in the USA. And depending upon when you see this, they may have a deal to get all 3 straps with your order at no extra cost. And don't forget, you can save 15% by using the coupon code. Okay, so it's a cool watch for sure. At least I think so. But as you know, here at Survival on Purpose, we are all about the science. So it would behoove us to test this thing, don't you think? And no, we're not going to balance test it, but we are going to do a multi-factor test, kind of in the interest of time. And we're going to test the luminosity, the C1 lume brightness, and the power reserve and the water resistance in one test. So, but before we do that, I've been wearing this all day long, just in normal use. I've been wearing it inside, outside, whatever, mostly inside today. So I want to turn the lights out and just see what it looks like right now, just with no extra charging with a flashlight or anything like that. And then we'll get to the scientific part. Okay, I'm shooting this with my iPhone, and all I can see through the camera, through the phone here, are the hands, the hour and minute hands. But if I look at it with my naked eye, I can see just a glimpse of the hour markers. Hopefully you could see that. I can see it really well with my eyeballs. I could see all the hour markers faintly. The hands were pretty bright because they've got a bigger piece of the C1 lume on them, a bigger area of C1 lume rather. And I could even see the number of markers at the 4 compass points, you know, the 3, 6, 9, and 12. The camera wasn't picking it up very well, I know so. But in the interest of science, I want to try to do everything I can to get as scientific a test as possible. So this thing is rated to 100 meters water resistant. I do not have a 100-meter test facility, but we're going to improvise, adapt, and overcome. So what I thought I'd do, I'm going to charge this thing up with a flashlight as bright as I can get it. So we got this C1 lume at full power. I'm going to wind it up manually as I'm doing right now so we can make sure the spring is completely wound. This thing is completely wound. So it is at full capacity. And then we'll put it in some water here, right here. And we'll come back and check it periodically and see how long the lume lasts. And hopefully, if it dies in the middle of the night, it'll just die in the middle of the night. We'll check it out, and then we'll keep a check on the power reserve and see how long this thing stays keeping time. It says it's 42 hours. So right now, it is 8:32 on Sunday night as I'm making this video. So this thing should go to about 2:30 Tuesday afternoon. Give or take. I mean, there's variables there for sure, but that's how long it should last, but without needing winding or wearing. Somewhere in that neighborhood. We'll check it out and see, and then hopefully it stays water resistant during that period of time. So again, we're not going to be at 100 meters. We're going to be at probably about 6 inches, but that's the best we can do here. So let's get to it. You want to? Okay, here we go with the science. Got the watch. We're going to go ahead and I got my Surefire stiletto. We're gonna just go ahead and charge this lume up as best we can. You can see how bright it is now. You can probably see it on camera, it's so bright, but let's get it charged up. This is probably the least scientific part of the entire testing process, but we're just gonna endeavor to persevere. So, oh, Surefire's okay though. Okay, so make sure it's wound really good, although I just wound it. Let's put it in the testing medium here and fill her up with water. Of course it's going to do that. Of course it is. Okay, it works just fine if I lay it on its side, so we'll go with it on the side. Just fill it up. Now, let's turn the lights out again and see if we can see the luminosity. And you can't see it with my camera, but grab the old iPhone again. Okay, so there it is now. You can see a little better with the iPhone, but it's about 8:40. There's the 9 and the 12 and the 3 and the 6. And if I hold still, it'll focus in. You can see them pretty well. So there we go. So there is the testing apparatus set up and ready to go. And just I'm gonna try to do, just to be clear on this, is I pull up a website here that you can see is the time.gov, and I'm gonna try to focus in, zoom that in where you can see that it says here it is 11/6/2022 up here, and it is about 8:43, something like that. So 8:43:10. So I'll try to leave this website up. Every time we do this, I'll show you this, just so you know there's no hanky-panky, because somebody always thinks I've got some sort of ulterior motive because it's a sponsored video. So anyway, I want to be as transparent as possible with you. So we're going to let the test run out its duration. So at least it should be a couple of days, almost a couple of days, 42 hours or so. We'll see. And you know, give or take a little bit. That's obviously kind of an estimate. There's a lot of variables in that, I'm sure, but hopefully we'll get close to 42 hours. So anyway, we'll let it run its course, come back and we'll talk about the testing, see how well this thing does. Okay, so you can see the second hand's still moving, and it's 3:03 on Tuesday the 8th, which means by my math, it's been about 42 hours and 15-20 minutes. So that's the last checkup we're going to be able to do on this, because I am about to head to a couple hours away with the Jeep because the engine's in for it. So I doubt it'll be going when we get back, but if it is, it'll be a real miracle. We'll see. Okay, so just got back home from taking the Jeep, and no sense in looking at the time on something else, because you can tell when it stopped. So it stopped at 6:15 because it is stopped now, and that is like 45 and a half hours. So that's pretty decent. Okay, so as I hope you can see, it is it's 10 minutes after 8 on Tuesday, November the 9th. So we're about I guess 35 minutes from it being 72 hours since we put the watch into the M4 watch into the testing tank here. So well, let's just take it out and have a look at it. How about that? Okay, bam. So she's dripping wet, but it gave up the ghost in the power reserve at 6:15 yesterday. So that would be almost 45 hours of power from a full winding, which is pretty good. I'm going to try to dry this thing off a little bit, and let me just wind it up and see if it's going to continue to work. And of course it does. But let me get it dried off. I guess I can just use my shirt. You won't tell anybody, will you? Because I want you to see that there's no water in it anywhere. So to do that, what I'm going to probably do is take you off of this camera and use my phone, because I can do a lot better close-ups with my phone, which is crazy, but it's working now. The little second hand is spinning, and I'll take you to the phone, and then we'll come back and wrap this up. Okay, so here is the M1, the Gunhild M1 from Heimdall's workshop, and you can see this after almost 72 hours, so 71 and a half hours of submersion, and you can see the action is completely dry inside, and you can see the little red second hand still spinning, so it's working. And then we turn it over, you can see the same thing on the back. Now I got to be honest, I had to dry this off because the condensation on the outside of the window, and I had a little bit of trouble because you look at that little axe is actually 3D, so there's a gap between the little axe, bottom of the axe blades and the glass. So pretty neat there, but as you can see inside, it is completely dry, no leaking after being submerged. And as I didn't expect it, it's rated for 100 meters, and we were at what, like 6 inches, 8 inches, right? So there you go. Okay, well, that kind of wraps up the testing of the Gunhild M4 watch from the Heimdall's workshop, and I got to say, I'm really impressed with this watch. So if you like cool watches and you like the fact this thing's kind of styled after an M4 rifle, that's pretty cool as well. Remind you can save 15% on this thing by using the coupon code SOP15 to check out at Heimdallsworkshop.com. Don't worry about spelling it. There'll be a link in the video description. And remember, they're only making 300 of these worldwide. So here's your chance to own a very, very limited edition timepiece, which is really, really cool. So if you like watches, I thought you might like this one. So thanks again to the folks at Heimdall's Workshop for sending me this so I can show it to you and for sponsoring today's video. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared and be on time. I'll see you next time.